Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Friday, the 7th of January, starting with Ben's Creek, which was one of the better highlights of the autumn, let's say, breaking that line of from December today. That was around the 33 pence level and above 33 pence. Still looking for a decent upside target, perhaps 50 to 55 pence by the end of next month, something like that, 1 to 2 months or so. Moving along to a stock which has certainly revitalized itself in the recent past, Bidstack rather. Here you can see that shares now heading towards the previously rather optimistic looking target around 7 pence, and probably have done enough now to suggest that we should be looking for a new upside target. So above the initial January peak, 5.25. There could be a fresh leg to the upside. I suppose the obvious place is really last February was resistance at 8 pence. So above 5.25, as high as 8 pence on Bidstack. Now, moving along to a stock where there's decent move as well. Distill, it's rather sort of a quiet looking stock normally, but here we've broken a line of resistance from July, and above that, around 1.6 pence, we could hit the post-September resistance around 2.2 pence, which is just above the 200-day moving average over the next maybe 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. At this stage, only well below the 50-day line, 1.5, really delaying the upside scenario. I had a question from somebody about Emerson, where the fundamentals look pretty well tied up, but on the charting front, we've got a rising trend channel there from April last year, top of the channel there, currently heading towards 8.5 pence, maybe by the end of next month, something like that. But looking like a very strong chart after the multiples floor near 5 pence, and also that gap to the upside that we had through the 200-day moving average back in November. Moving along to a stock which has also been requested. Here we've got Eve Sleep, and finally breaking out of breaking that line of resistance there from February last year, and the 50-day moving average at 2.8 pence. Above that, we're looking for a return to post-September resistance around 4 pence as a 1-month target. Nice jump in the RSI there, so that does suggest some decent momentum now building for Eve. Ferroalloy, rather, which is the ticker code is FAR. Ferroalloy, interviewed them I think a month or two ago, but here we broke that line of resistance from June and the 50-day moving average, then sort of came back after a bull trap through the 200-day line, but at least while we're above that line from June, around 24 pence, looks like we're in recovery mode and could hit up towards the mid-30s or low to mid-30s over the course of the next month or so. Moving along to Gene Drive, which seems to be back in business in terms of the rebound that we've got, a sort of key reversal off the 50-day moving average. A bit disappointing that we just failed at the 200-day line. And if you're cautious, probably you'd wait for either a break of, hope there was no break of the 50-day line at 32, and wait for an end-of-day close through the 200-day moving average at 47. Above that, then we'll finally get our retest, or finally get our retest of 80 pence in the following month after such a situation. Galantas is next, and here's where I suppose I've got a feeling that the gold price and gold stocks are going to do rather well this year, given rampant inflation. In this situation, we've got both the 50 and 200-day moving averages rising, and above the 200-day line, 29.5, we're looking for a move to the top of the February rising trend channel on the Galantas daily chart as high as 50 pence. Maybe by the end of next month, i.e. a year after the price channel started, by the end of next month being February. Only back below the 50-day line now at 23 pence, really delaying the upside scenario, which seems to be quite unlikely in that being cancelled. On to Iofina. And we've got the makings of a bull flag here, a bull flag which has been in place since the end of last month, resting on old resistance from September at 17 pence, above 17, looking for Iofina to hit the top of the rising trend channel from back in January last year as high as 25 or 26 pence. That could be hit over the next 1 to 2 months. Be cautious, maybe just wait for an end of day close through 20 pence, but that support there at 17 does suggest that we're going to head up to 26 pence relatively easily. Onto Microsaic, which has had a nice spike. Maybe it's taken rather longer than some of the company's fans might have hoped for, but want to see the shares remain above the 200-day moving average at basically 0.21 pence. Weekly close above that could then open up the prospect of a move up to 0.4 pence over the next 1 to 2 months. The positive here, apart from the break of the 50 and 200-day lines, is the way that we've got bullish divergence there. So the rising low there for the RSI over the last week or so suggests that we just had a bear trap and then we pushed higher after that. Just a bear trap just to get the last of the longs out around the 0.14 pence level. On to the next situation, which is Orosur Mining, a stock which is quite popular, I suppose. Here we've broken that line of resistance from February, bounced off the 50-day line at 12 3/4, and above that looking for a retest of the main area, resistance area from post-July as high as 27.28, maybe by the end of March or hopefully much sooner than that. Couple of situations to go now. First is SRT Marine. Here we've broken through or gapped through resistance. In this case, it was around the 44-45 pence level. Held the gap on at least a one-day close. And the view now is that SRT could be strong enough to head up to 70 pence, especially while there's no end-of-day close back below the gap at 46, top of the gap rather, at 46 pence. So 70 maybe by the end of next month while we hold above 46 for SRT. Finishing off with a stock which I haven't looked at for quite a while, Victoria Oil and Gas. Here we've broken that mid-November peak at 4.3 pence and the 200-day moving average at 4.1. Above the 200-day line, looking for a retest of April-May resistance as high as 6.5 pence, maybe by the end of next month, or hopefully much sooner than that. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.